NHL Nightly with your host, the sportsman, a.k.a. Pierre Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. And with him, as always, maybe PEarlo, Wisdom, and Rico in Barrie. All right. How's it going?
Good. Yeah, normally I would, like my camera's not working.
You froze. You froze.
Let me go back in.
Yeah. Come back in. Okay, everybody, welcome to NHL Nightly with your host, Jeremiah Maxwell, a.k.a. Sports Beard. And also with me as Rico. You just missed PEarlo, Rico. But, Rico, we cannot bury the lead. You hit your goal scoring prop. And there's plenty of time left. Michael has 2. So we've got PEarlo back here. You're good now, PEarlo. We can see you loud. We can see you clear as day. Let me make sure I turn this down just a touch so we don't pick up Darren Pang and Brendan Burke from the TNT broadcast. Caps were running away with this game. But the lead is Rico hit his goal scoring prop with McMichael, and there's still half the third period to go. He could still get Scott Lawton. Flyers are trying to get in this, so Rico, you're muted too, just to let you know if you muted yourself. There might be some craziness going on. I know you had family in town. All right, so we got the game going on. I wanted to talk about some of the injuries that were happening in the NHL. We had some big stories, and the biggest one being the Utah Hockey Club is going to be without Sean Durzi for 4 to 6 months, and without John Marino for 3 to 4 months. I know. I saw my boy Hot Take Hockey say, "Hey, Bill Armstrong, you sure you don't want Timothy Liljegren or who's the other right shot D they're trying to get rid of there all the time in Toronto there?"
Liljegren?
He's the right shot guy. He's not bad. Connor Timmins? Is that? I think that's who I'm thinking.
Timmins might be it.
Rico,
I thought Liljegren was the right side, but I guess.
Yeah, Timmins on the right side. He's kind of filling in right now in and out of the lineup with Liljegren. Pacioretty's hurt now too, so there's another guy that we're going to find out soon about how severe Pacioretty's going to be out. So I know Liljegren was touted, man. He was a first round pick, and there's a lot of people that I even heard today on Fan 590 saying that guy Liljegren was number 1 in a lot of people's drafts that year. He could have even went first overall. So I don't know, man. Liljegren's one of those things where, you know, a team could probably use a guy like him. Maybe it's just Toronto, sometimes a change of scenery, but he's one of those guys like Nick Robertson in Toronto now that could definitely benefit another team.
I think you could buy low on a guy who costs you about $3 million, and you probably could use Liljegren tomorrow in your lineup. And I sometimes think these guys that get out of these hotbeds, they do better in some of these areas where there's not going to be any media pressure on them. And you see our friend Darkness is in the chat. He's sad. If you guys don't know, the people listening, Darkness is a St. Louis Blues fan. The other news that I didn't get to, Robert Thomas broke an ankle 6 weeks.
That's horrible.
So that's brutal for them. And they were playing well too. So, yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yeah,
but I also have to say, other than the absolute lousy calls that were called against him in this game, Pierre-Luc Dubois has played very well for the Capitals. Yeah. Like, very well. He's been going up against the top line's number 1 center to protect that Ovechkin-Strome line, which is not good defensively. So he's been going up against Rupe Hentz. He's been going up against Jack Eichel. It's good stuff, man. I mean, Carberry said he's been their best player. I just wanted to get that out there. For the Philadelphia Flyer fans that are out there, listen, it's only going to take a matter of time for this Ivan Fedotov kid. He's played like 10 games of the NHL. He's used to playing on 200-foot long by 100-foot wide rinks where you don't make those east-west passes as much. So I 100% expect this guy, 6'8". Once he figures it out, man, he's gonna be very formidable. I mean, like Vasilevsky formidable. He has not been bad in this game. There may be one goal or two that you'd like to get back, but the first goal was a tip. It's really been breakdowns from the Flyers, and honestly, I feel like the Flyers haven't even played that bad. Obviously, they're back in this game. It's 4-3. Yeah, I mean, oh my God, the Flyers almost scored on a wraparound.
Almost.
Yeah,
right?
They're coming, man. They're coming. They're coming.
On the wraparound, just so close. Wow.
Yep, they're coming with 7 minutes left to go in the game. Kind of a bummer that this is still on. It was a later first start. I'd rather not talk about the game while it's live, but I really appreciate everybody joining us on X and YouTube. It just depends on the day, right? We seem to do really well. Yeah, that was a good play by Van Riemsdyk too, but the Capitals just need to reset there. I kind of thought Carberry should have called a timeout when it was 4-2. But again, I feel like the officials have gotten in the way of this game and have kind of lost control of it a little bit. So, but we'll see what happens. I mean, again, Caps were up 4-0. No excuses. They lose this game.
I got the Caps in my money line and -1.5. So I'm hoping.
Well, we've got. Well, I think what we've got here is the Capitals have to play about 5 minutes of really good hockey and maybe not score a goal. And then you're looking at an empty net goal potentially. Yeah, let's get an empty goal.
Yeah, PEarlo bet the TV behind him. He bet the piano. He bet everything because he doesn't care if he loses it. He's moving down to Indiana anyway. It's just less stuff to move.
Well, do we have a timeline? Do we have a timeline there, PEarlo?
It's probably going to be the end of November, somewhere around there.
Okay, so around Thanksgiving time. Okay, well, that's good because we'll be off the week of Thanksgiving anyway. So, oh, geez. Capitals are coming now. 6:26. I'd love to see Ovi pot one here, baby. Let's get one, Ovi.
Freaking Wilson. Wilson right now. Wilson. Let's talk about Wilson.
He's been great, man. I didn't like him last game, though. I thought he was not good. He looked I think everybody played kind of poorly in that last game, even though it was 4-1.
Don't even. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Wilson is freaking unbelievable right now. Like he's like one of the best players in the league. It's crazy.
So, PEarlo, since you still reside in Edmonton, and I know you bet that they might not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Is it too early to panic?
I got a follow-up question on that too.
I panicked early, obviously. I bet them to not make the playoffs before the season started. Yeah. So I was already panicking before I get started. So yeah. I didn't like their moves in the offseason.
I gotta say,
look at Broberg in St. Louis right now. Like 5.
Yeah, he looks good, man. Oh, Rico, we lost Rico. He has a follow-up question. Rico, you can drink on the stream, man. It's totally fine. You can take a sip of your beer on the stream. Just because PEarlo and I are essentially sober guys, and I'm sober alcohol. And you know that I will drink for special occasions like going to the – so there is an outside shot. I might be coming to Toronto for the Hockey Hall of Fame, which means you and Hot Take will have to meet me again because we will be going to a Leaf game, the three of us. So – I might ask for financial help this time if you guys want to help give me sauce me a couple bucks. But
yeah. Just let me know. We'll get Hot Take together. Obviously, he's working for the Leafs now too. So
he may not be. Yeah, he might be at the game. So what's crucial is since he's working the game and he's working the crowd, we got to find out if he's at the game, where he is, and we will sit in his section so we can party with it, getting the crowd going. This is good stuff, man. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. Let's see if it happens. But if we doesn't next year, but for sure, I'd love to go there. Because, dude, one of the greatest American players is getting in. It's long since needed to get in, and Jeremy Roenick and stuff. So I'm super excited.
Let's go, man.
I appreciate you guys joining us on X, Instagram. Also, shout out my friend Raymond Heimer. Today's his 44th birthday, man, and lives in Utah. He's a diehard LA Kings fan. He's a LA everything fan. He's a Lakers Dodgers thing. So, but he's an LA Kings fan. So, that's the team I should have rooted for, right? But
yeah, dude, you know what I was gonna say after mentioning the Oilers? You know who's been invisible this year, except for getting a slap shot right in a freaking jock strap, is Zach Hyman. A guy with 54 goals last year, a guy with 15 goals in the playoffs. He has 0 points this year. Not just 0 points, but he has not been noticeable.
Yeah,
so
I think all the
thing.
teams knew what they were doing. They figured it out. They had the video now on what they were doing with Hyman.
But do you think though, PEarlo, a guy like him, wasn't he undrafted?
I could answer that question, but I don't want
to. Well, no, I'll look it up. I'll look it up for you. I actually have their page open here. No, but here's my question. He's 32. Okay.
Yeah.
He was drafted in the 5th round, 123rd in 2010 by Florida.
There you go. Yeah.
He wasn't undrafted, so there was some skill there. But here's a guy, he was projected a 5th round pick. They didn't think very highly of him. He worked on his game. He got good in Toronto, and he got the bag from Edmonton. And we see this though a lot now, where guys hit a plateau and they're so good, and then look, you know who comes to mind in something like this? And I'm not saying this is Zach Hyman, so don't murder me, guys. But remember Joey Juneau? Didn't he have like 70 goals one year or something?
Yeah, in Boston,
he had like an unbelievable season with the Caps, I think, even. And so I just wonder, man, sometimes these guys hit a wall, and it's like,
well, he's a one-trick wonder, and everybody knows what he does now. So he sits on that right side and taps in goals, and it took him a while for the rest of the league to figure out what he was doing. And now that they know, he's nothing.
Looks like the Flyers.
I think they just have the video on him and go like, yeah, just stay on Hyman on that line. And now they have to change their whole system. Yeah. He'll probably never score more than 20 for the rest of his career.
That's a hot take, PEarlo, but you know what? It could be true. You never know, man. I mean, he doesn't have a perimeter game. His game revolves around the net, the slot, the crease, the low posts.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take away that time and space, and you don't think that the coaches that game plan for these teams and analytics and everything aren't circling his name in the lineup as one to keep an eye on, and this is how you eliminate it. And
might be the whole reason why the Oilers are not doing too well this year. They were relying on that play all year. They were relying on that play. So,
and let's say this real quick too, with the Oilers. You know, you would think a team with those like Draisaitl and McDavid being those are their later draft picks would be a younger team. They're the second oldest team in the NHL behind the Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no, they're
that is not a good sign. And it might be beneficial for them to have a Corey Perry get injured so they could bring up that Noah Philip kid, or something like that. So,
no, I don't think it'd be beneficial at all. I don't think they have anything in their minor league system at all.
That kid almost made the team. That Noah Philip kid.
I know he did. He almost made the team.
He just about scored. Oh man, Ovi just about. I thought for sure he had it.
Just about. It was really close. I didn't say anything
So
because I know you're
watching the game. Let me give you guys a little play-by-play for the fans that are listening. If you not, it's the third period. There's 3 minutes left, less 2:55 left in the third. The Washington Capitals just got off a power play. Probably going to see the Flyers pull their goalie in a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Here it's 4-3. The Capitals led
They
4-0.
already did pull the goaltender, and Washington scored.
Okay, so PEarlo's a little bit ahead of me.
I'm ahead of you.
Did the goalie score, or was it Ovi empty netter?
It was Dubois.
Oh, Dubois, right? Dubois' first goal. Good, man. He deserved it. He had a really good game, and they had a couple. I thought Chauncey called.
Dubois has played fantastic.
Yeah,
in Washington.
Yeah,
he has played fantastic. I'm glad.
Bad turnover. That was a great pickoff. Oh my God! What was that? Matvei Mishkov? I think that turnover was from Matvei Mishkov.
I'm glad I took Washington to win to make the playoffs at like plus 115. I'm glad I did because this team is making the playoffs, no doubt.
Dude, they're gonna be 5-1. This is 5 straight wins for the Washington Capitals. Say what you want to about them.
All right, okay, we got Washington and Calgary in the Cup final. Who says no?
Washington.
Dude, wouldn't that be crazy? Because we actually have one of Calgary's former players in Mangiapane. He's played well too, really well defensively and stuff. Really liked it. Yeah, man.
And they got one of Washington's former players in Anthony Mantha.
Yeah, they signed him, and Mantha's playing really well. And you know what, man? No one could be happier for him. He was a good Cap. He played. He just, I think he had a hard time finding his game. He was definitely a guy I was just rooted for and wanted to see do well. Seemed like such a class guy too, like not a problem in the locker room or anything like that. Just really hardworking guy, but just had skill, but just could not like get points. Just couldn't. And I think he was so kind of streaky. I think it hurt him. So it is what it is.
I sent you Washington money line, but I also had them on the puck line too. So
yeah, I got your money line bet a little late, PEarlo. Since it was only one game, I wasn't stressed. I figured
no big deal. But I also have them on the puck line too. So I'm happy about this.
Yeah. Yeah, you got your thing. So let's talk about yesterday. I'm glad your bets I didn't get them in because you got them to me late, but you wouldn't have won anyway.
No, because, I didn't do great. I didn't do great yesterday.
Mike went 4 for 11. Our degenerate Bostonian.
Dude, it was a tough day to call games. All goalies were getting pulled, teams were getting pumped. Like it was just one of those.
I went 7-6 yesterday.
That's good, Pearl. Let me just say this. Rico, we have to talk about this.
Oh, Ovi.
What the hell happened to the Leafs?
I think Ovi just potted an empty netter. I hope it was Ovi. Yeah, it's Ovi. Ovi just potted an empty netter.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here comes Ovi.
Philadelphia is looking bad, man.
Hey! Yeah. Ovi! Ovi! Let's go! 2 goals. He's got 39 to go, baby! Let's go! Oh.
Philly's in bad shape, man. Philly's in bad shape.
Dude, they can't get any shots. They can't get any shots on goal.
Because last year,
yesterday they had no offense.
Last year, everybody took them for granted, and this year everybody's like, okay, we can't fuck around with Philly here. We gotta take them down. So I think they're in bad shape, man.
Here's what I gotta say about the Flyers. They're the second youngest team in the NHL right now. Yeah. Behind only the Buffalo Sabres. They don't need to panic. They don't need to do anything. But I'll tell you what, they really need to figure out the center ice position. That's got to be a target for them in the off season. They need
Another-
a center. I
Another
like this team. If I'm a Flyers fan, we're not going to be good this year. Flyers, you're not going to be good this
They
year.
need a number one center, though. I agree.
You need to trade guys like Scott Lawton. And I mean, you signed Konechny, so he's saying Couturier. Yeah, you got to trade those guys and get some youth in there. That Jet Luchenko kid is super promising. Oh wow, Hendrix Lapierre. Wow, Hendrix Lapierre about scored a breakaway goal. Wow, Hendrix Lapierre's look nice. But Connor McCheesy. Does Connor McMichael have the same number of goals as Connor McDavid? Why, yes, he does. They have 3 on the season. However, McDavid did look like he was on a mission to be like done with losing. However, 2 teams that people called playoff teams, and look, I had the Edmonton Oilers winning the Stanley Cup. They come back to lose a dramatic to
You had
the
the Oilers
Kings.
to win the Stanley Cup?
Yes, I did at the beginning of the year, Perlo. You can't change your picks. So I did.
I didn't pick the Oilers to win the Stanley Cup.
No, I know you did.
Perlo picked them to miss the playoffs, and we picked them to
I had the Oilers to miss the playoffs.
I took Dallas and the Rangers.
You had Dallas and the Rangers, which I love, which I would love. That's a sneaky number 1 versus number 4 media market.
Florida.
That would be a great cup final, guys. Shesterkin, oh my God, I would love that cup final.
I got Dallas and Florida in the final. Dallas and Florida.
One sec, boys. I gotta give the cat some treats. She's all over me here. One sec.
Yeah, get your treats. Get your treats. I'll pop you out of the window there. So, Perlo, you and I'll go to the wide shot so we can see the girlfriend's house, and you can see all my regalia studio, where you can see the Johnny Gaudreau Memorial in the corner.
What looks nice, buddy. Looks good. Looks proud.
Yeah, look, we'll get Baby Yoda to make up presents here. Look, Baby Yoda coming in. So, yeah, how about that? Obi gets a goal. Biz won his bet, by the way. Rico hits a goal for the prop. I was so bummed out that Scott Lawton didn't score. He just had a baby. You know, a guy, every time he just has a baby, they always score.
Yeah, you think they would score when they just had a baby.
Yeah. So
leave it up to I didn't even know he just had a baby. I had no idea. Where did you get that information from earlier?
What? On him having a baby?
Leave it up to Rico. Was that his pick for?
Yeah, he sent him early enough to me, Perlo. He sent him first thing in the morning. Yeah.
Leave it up to Rico to know that information.
Yeah, he got the goal scoring. We didn't know about. No. Rico did not tell me about Scott Lawton's baby. I knew.
Okay.
Yes, because I read the hockey news, and the Flyers tweeted about it, and Saravelli talked about it on the radio, and yeah, so, yeah.
Michkov
Juno had a 102-point season, basically his rookie year.
Michkov did score tonight, right?
Yeah, he had a goal tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like
so Rico had McMichael, because he's a top 6 forward this year. He's playing on the second line with Wilson and Dubois. Yeah. So that was a great pick. And he was plus, what was he?
400, wasn't he?
He was plus 320. No, Lawton was 425. Yeah, so 320. He got 320. So if you bet $100, bet $10, you won 30. So yeah, Rico, you killed it. If you hit one goal scoring prop, you're happy because you're not betting a lot of money. So
and you're going with value too. Like there's guys that a lot, even half of that money paying out. But you just look at Daily Face Off has the website, and they give you the lines, the daily lines. So you look at the guys that are playing in the top 6, guys that are getting moved up the lineup, and they're usually paying plus 300, plus 400. To get a goal, and those are the value guys there because they're moving in the top 6, top 3 roles.
Okay, we've avoided this enough, Rico. What the hell
the Leafs?
happened to the Leafs? in Columbus. I thought this team was different under Berube, and they come in and they lay an egg against a team they should have handily beat. There's no excuses. I know the Blue Jackets played a good game, by the way. Catherine Craig, if you hear this, it's okay to say the Blue Jackets had a good game. They could play a good game, and the Leafs at the same time laid a clunker. You lose 6-2, and Blue Jackets had 38 shots on goal. They outshot you. So, well, what did you watch this game? I was not able to watch.
I watched the whole game, man. Hildeby, they couldn't pull the guy because Stolarz played the night before, and they need him. They're playing Boston. They got Winnipeg. They got key games coming up, so they don't want to burn this guy out. Joseph Wall's a ghost right now. He never played the last game of the season in the playoffs, and he never played the first game of the season. So what the hell is going on with this guy? Hildeby is not ready. It's too much put on his shoulders. Couple quick goals. The team wasn't motivated to begin with, never mind letting in a couple soft ones, and then you just got to play out the string, man. I don't know. I know earlier in the year a lot of teams have rookie parties. They must have went out in Toronto or Columbus or something last night and maybe had a little bit of a night off from Berube, but Toronto does the same thing all the time. When they're heavily favored against a team they should beat, fade the Leafs, man. Don't bet on the Leafs when they're up against a team in a spot where they should win. For some reason,
especially on the road.
Yeah, it's not just last night. It's a lot of times, man.
I'm glad you said this. I'm glad both of you said this. This is why I think they're not ready. They're not ready for cup contender. But I've loved what I've seen in the games they've won. They've looked great. So let's wait and see. Now, I know they got injuries. For whatever reason, the injury bug is bad this year. So we just talked, if you're just joining us, and we just talked at the beginning of the show, Sean Durzi, John Marino out basically the rest of the year for the Utah Hockey Club. Robert Thomas out 6 weeks. Now, we did get a return of an injured player, and I wanted to talk to you about this. By the way, awesome summation of the Leafs Blue Jackets game, Rico. I wanted to ask you guys about this game. The Avalanche beat the Kraken 3-2. I thought the Kraken played better, but the key injury player coming back, Devon Toews, makes the world of difference for that team. They already look like a much better team. And they win the first game. He's back in the lineup against a Kraken team that played really tough. And I feel like, every team has a bad matchup. The Kraken are a bad matchup for the Avalanche because the Avalanche are top heavy and their bottom six is not good and their goaltending is not great. And the Kraken are a deep B- C+ team. Like they have 80, like if you play NHL, 82 is a really good rating.
Their bottom three is miles better than Colorado's bottom.
Yeah, I mean, the Kraken are like a team of 80 to 85s, right? They don't have anybody that's going to wow you with super skill. They're hoping that's Shane Wright and Matty Beniers, but those guys have got some years to develop yet. So, they're interviewing McElrath, which I love. I think he had 2 points. It's his first multi-point
time career,
in his NHL career. And McElrath was like a first-round pick of the Rangers, like 15 years ago or something, man. So, big boy. I'm happy for him, man. He's not even supposed to be
guys like that. They worked their way all the way through the AHL, got up to like 30.
He's the captain for the Hershey Bears. The last two Calder Cup champions is Dylan McElrath. So they bring him up because Matthew Roy is hurt. Matt Roy is injured. He's played all of 9 minutes for the Capitals this year. Yeah. They gave him $32 million from the LA Kings. Great defensive defenseman. And they need John Carlson to get his minutes down, and they can't because Roy is hurt. So it was like, it's infuriating.
Great story. McElrath is a good story.
So Avalanche
teams that are top heavy. Yeah, usually teams that are top heavy like the Avalanche do better against a Seattle Kraken team in Denver because you could kind of put McKinnon out on the last change and match up against these teams. But Kraken
You
at
could use
home, like
On the road, they're in trouble.
No, they were in Seattle.
Colorado's in trouble on the road.
yeah, and that's what I mean. Like going into Seattle and getting that win, that was a big win for Colorado, because usually the Kraken can match up against them. You put Adam Larson out there against the McKinnon line, you know you can match up against the top guys. But
and they don't have
that's
that
an interesting
advantage. Let me say this real quick too. Let me say this to you guys. If I'd have told you that on the 22nd of October in the Frozen Frenzy, that the Colorado Avalanche would get a huge road win for them against the Seattle Kraken, you'd be asking me if I was on crack. Because you'd be like, why would it be a big win for them? But I believe it was only their second win of the season, was it not?
No, I had Colorado to have a rough season this year, so I wouldn't have thought you were on crack.
Well, Jonathan Drouin's a wild card too. Never mind Nikushin and Landeskog, but
he's
not
injured.
having Drouin.
But he's injured. Drouin's injured for them. He's
that's what I mean. Like having Nikushin and Landeskog and Drouin, like man, these guys are banged up.
Yeah, they're in rough shape.
Okay, so let's after today, because we've got everybody played yesterday, so most teams have played.
So are we going to go into
5 games? There's only 2 teams in the NHL, or 1 team in the NHL that's only played 5 games, and that's the Carolina Hurricanes. And that's only because they had to cancel that one in Tampa because of the hurricane. So, the team that has the most points, obviously, is the Winnipeg Jets, right behind the New York Rangers and the Calgary Flames. Hold on. Okay. Most road wins, Rangers and Devils have 5, which is crazy. The Devils have 5 wins. They have 3 losses at home. So all their wins are on the road. The team that leads the NHL in goals for is the team that's played the most, the Devils, 32. But the Rangers and Vegas Golden Knights, and then Winnipeg Jets, and then Pittsburgh Penguins, and then the Washington Capitals, Tampa Bay Lightning, Buffalo Sabres, Calgary Flames, Florida Panthers, Seattle Kraken. See any trends here? Like Colorado's not there. Toronto's not there. Edmonton's not there. Goals allowed, the most in the NHL. Who do you think it is?
Colorado.
They're second.
Oh, really? They're second?
They're second. They're tied with the Flyers second. And that's the Flyers giving up what they gave up tonight, 31. So who's been worse defensively? I'll give you a hint. They got ahead to come back and lose last night as well as the Edmonton Oilers. And it happened in the province of Alberta.
Oh, I should have known that.
Who is it? Tell me the name.
What's that? What was the question?
What's the team? Who's the team that's given up the most?
The team that has given up most goals in the NHL?
Yeah.
Probably Pittsburgh.
Yep. There you go, Rico. Pittsburgh Penguins, 35 goals. Now, they don't have the worst differential. The worst differential in the league is the San Jose Sharks, followed by the Flyers. And then who's third in the NHL worst goal differential right now? And if I'd have told you this, you would not have the Edmonton Oilers. Bang on, Perlo. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah. If I would have told you this, you'd have said they're 1-3-1 at home. They've played 5 games at home, and they have played 2 games on the road. They have a better road record. They're 500 on the road. They're 1-1. So I'm not saying it's time to panic, Edmonton, but I would start – I'm going to own the fact I picked them win the Stanley Cup this year against the New York Rangers.
Also,
right now, Rangers are the best team in hockey.
Yeah, for sure. And when is the time for Nashville to panic too, man? They're at the bottom of the Central.
They had a really good game yesterday.
They did win against Boston.
They had a really good win against Boston.
When's the time to panic with Boston too? They're minus goal differential. They're only 3-3 on the year as well too.
They're not too great. They can't score.
So here's what I'm glad you brought that up. I saw this in a chat today. I think it was on Morning Cup of Hockey, but You know our friend, the degenerate Bostonian, he's not with us tonight, hates Cam Neely, hates Don Sweeney, thinks they should both be gone. I saw from a reliable thing that there are people in the know that think the first coach that might be fired this year is Monty in Boston. I personally think
Marchand's blowing up with him. Did you see Marchand and Monty having a blow up right on the bench for all the cameras to see?
I think Marchand is coming off 3 surgeries and he looks every bit of 36. And I think this is his last year. I don't think he re-signs. I don't think anybody can what you're seeing on the ice from him right now. And look, I watched kind of intently the Predators beat the Bruins 4-0. I watched intently that game because I want to see the Predators be good. We all do. I mean, it would be a travesty. One, it would hurt the NHL free agency a little bit, which makes covering the sport fun. You know what I'm saying? We love that free agency stuff when guys go, that's what used to make it so crazy. And the salary cap is cut down on a lot of that. So, but I'm not as concerned about the Predators because I just feel like they had to add so many new pieces. You just got to find, like, there's one puck. You can't, Marchessault scored 40, Stamkos scored 40. They're probably going to score maybe 20 now, especially if they're playing second and third line. But you want Stamkos.
And Forsberg's like, this is my house. And O'Reilly's like,
right, that's what I'm saying. I would play Stamkos as my third line left wing. You're going to dominate 3/4 of the NHL at the third line. Look at what Paul Cotter's doing with the Devils this year. He's tearing it up. He's probably also playing against guys, one, who haven't played him because he's played in the West most of his career, and two, he's a better player than where he was playing in Vegas because Vegas needed him to be a third or fourth line guy the whole time, and they weren't going to play him in the top 6 because they didn't need him. But now, like, he's playing with a fast, skilled team like New Jersey, who isn't as, is not constructed the same as the Vegas Golden Knights, which, by the way, they look good. And that's why I'll tell you what, boys, wearing the Caps stuff, I got my Caps fandom out, got the Caps hat. I was not sure about the Capitals this year. I wanted to see what they were, and I didn't want to tout them too much. And everybody was saying they had a great offseason. And I was hopefully optimistic, but I was not a believer until the Caps beat New Jersey, Dallas, and Vegas in a row. And I was like, whoa, this is a much better team than I expected. And this is without Matthew Roy in the lineup.
And they're winning.
They had to move McMichael to the wing.
Offensive games, and they're winning defensive moves.
The best thing they did was get Protas on the line with Ovechkin. And he's so rangy and defensive. He's so good on that line. They don't need a distributor. Dylan Strome is fine. And he always wants to acquiesce to Ovechkin.
He grabs the puck in the offensive zone, and he, I like that move. By the way, the first coach fired, Lalonde.
Yeah, you might be right, PEarlo. I heard that name too.
That's who
I heard that name too. That was a big win too. They beat the Islanders 1-0. Did you see the shot differential in that game?
Yeah.
The Islanders had 30 shots on goal, Rico. Yeah. How many did the Red Wings have?
15, I think, 14, something like that.
No, less. Rico, what? Did you know? How many did your Red Wings have? Since you're kind of positive.
Yeah, under 15.
10.
They had 11 shots on. They had 11 shots on goal for the game, and they won.
Yeah.
Patrick Kane got his first of the season. So by the way, PEarlo, I agreed with you on the roster construction of the Red Wings. I'm not going to blame them for the free agent signings because you got to have bodies, and I just think they don't have. It's bad, dude.
It's bad. Is doing it the right way. Like look at Calgary this year, man. Like people thought they were just gonna have to tear it right down and rip it apart, and now they got Hope, and now they got Huberdeau playing a little better. Now they got insulation or lineup.
Do you know what they did in Calgary? Is they took their top 6 veterans who say that they want to stay in Calgary. They made one captain and 5 assistants.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
We have 5 players playing with an A on their shirt, and they're all
That's
saying,
cool.
"I want to be in Calgary," and that's the way it is. And
Yeah, Huberdeau, Kadri, Mackenzie Weegar, Rasmus Anderson, and who's the fifth one?
Hey, real quick,
uh,
I want to acknowledge. Let me acknowledge. Hey, PEarlo, this is somebody's in the chat for you here. I'm going to acknowledge this. Doug says, PEarlo, you need to get your Tony's Picks win percentage up. You are better than a 54 win percentage.
oh, I know.
Maybe
Yeah, I will
56.
be at the end of the year. I'll be way more than that. By the way, I just got 2 more picks today, so I'm up at like closer to 60%. But by the end of the year, I'll be
I'm not giving you shit. I just wanted to make it aware because you're not paying attention.
I'm not saying you're
telling you,
dude.
I'm not
He's
saying
telling you, step your fucking game up, you motherfucker. I'm losing too much money on your picks. That's what he said.
I'm not saying that you're giving me shit, but if you can be above 50% for the first 20 games, you're a killer.
Yeah, that's
good.
No, dude,
you don't even
this
know.
Is right.
Yeah, you don't even know. Like I'll be up to like 65, 70% for the rest of the year.
Okay,
like the first 20
let me do this. Let me do this. I want everybody to understand. I know people tuned in last week, and I gave PEarlo the business. Okay, so Steve, I apologize for not being professional with you. Okay,
what?
In the future, hold on.
Apologize. Shit, that was the funniest.
No, but I want to hold on. Hold on though. In the future, however, when the subject of cap friendly comes up, we're just not going to.
You said you're not going to bring up that term, and now you're bringing it up. I was never going to bring it up again, and now you.
But I want you to know that I will be more friendly, and when we have a disagreement online, I actually think it's good for ratings, but I also want it to be made clear, like I never intended to throw you off the show.
I can't wait till you lose your shit, dude. Like
I know, I understand. But that being said, there's a reason I want you on here. I made that apology because I'm not going to just kiss your ass and tell you this now. I love how you handicap hockey. I think you are brilliant at it. You see the game very much like a person that knows it. And we give you shit for your takes, man, but you are right on a lot of this stuff. So we like when it comes to gambling. So I'm going to challenge you and call you on bullshit because I'm watching the games and stuff when I disagree with you. But we agree. I think, Andrew goes, how about 75%? I think you and I agree about 75% of hockey.
Yeah,
we see the game very similar. I don't think I see the game as a handicapper like you, but I want you to understand, like, the people that are coming into this show, PEarlo and Rigor.
You got great takes, dude. You got great takes. I come on here and I listen to your information. I listen to your information, and it's part of my handicapping because you got great takes. So does Rico. That's why. I just want you to understand.
When you're not doing well, when a guy comes in like our friend Doug here and says, "Hey, you need to be better," I'm going to make sure he gets the opportunity to say it. But I'm also going to say,
I'm not doing that. For the first 10, 15 games of the year, there's not too many Cappers in the NHL that are going to be green. So here's what I agree, and I agree with that, and I agree. I think if you stack up against all the guys out there, if you're green the first 15 games of the year,
if you're running a book and you're setting odds for hockey, you would be making money for the house. So, and that's what they would want. Because they don't want the public to win. It's like the NFL, the first 10. But I got to tell you, man, and this is happening in football, in American football. But I'm telling you, the start of this season is unlike any other I can remember. A lot of times when we know a team is going to be good and they come out good. And Edmonton and Colorado have not. And The Boston is underwhelming. Detroit, I'm not surprised Detroit is struggling after we did a little bit of a roster analysis with them. So to me, that's the least shocking because I didn't think they were ready yet. People kept saying, "Oh, they're going to make the playoffs." Now let's talk about a team that has kind of maybe turned the page. The Ottawa Senators, man, they shut out Utah in Utah.
Okay. By the way,
Dude.
I have a plus 10,000 pick on Sanderson to win the Norris this year.
Yeah.
So, like
I'll tell you what,
I've got like 8 points
in
already. He's got 8 points.
Yeah, so I want to talk about this too. Ottawa makes the trade with the Washington Capitals straight up Jacob Chychrun, who's now in the last year of his deal, and Nick Jensen. And here's what I think. This is actually a great trade for both teams. The Washington Capitals were like the worst team in the NHL last year with getting scoring from their back end because when John Carlson had to skate 27 and a half minutes a night, he led the NHL
he had to do everything pretty much.
Yeah, and he wore the F out, and so he couldn't do everything. And so they make that trade. They get Chychrun. He's a great offensive guy. He's going to help push back in. They replace Nick Jensen with a free agent signing, and Nick Jensen has looked good in Ottawa, and they needed a right shot guy that got the puck up the ice quick, and that's exactly what Nick Jensen does well. So I've been impressed with the Ottawa Senators early, man, and I like Shane Pinto. Like, I think he's one of the best defensive centers. Before his career is over, he's going to have a Selke on his mantle. I
agree. Totally agree.
Yeah. So I'm excited if I'm a Sens fan, man. They're I heard Jason York on Kipper say they're about 3 years away from a new arena there, Rico. Is that proper? You're going to be our only Canadian correspondent, man. So you're going to have to be on all this.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, whose arena? Calgary's?
Ottawa's.
Downtown
arena.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Calgary's, I think, will be done in 2 seasons.
Yeah, in less time than that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Which is awesome because I've heard that they've needed a replacement for a while. So that's awesome. And it's so good to see Calgary playing well. Dude, speaking of that Calgary game, did you guys watch that Calgary Pens game? I
did not watch it, unfortunately. But,
me and Mike were watching it together. The Pittsburgh Penguins look slow 3-on-3, guys. Totally. They look slow 3-on-3. I mean, they had 38 shots on goal. They played okay. I mean, I don't really have it. They just look old and slow. Like Lars Eller's been really good for them. I think he had another goal for them, actually. He might Raquel's look good. Raquel's already got 4 potted. He's looked real good for them. And then they win in a shootout. Justin Kirkland, this guy Costco. What a great story, man. This guy's like 28 years old, like got in a car accident. So yeah, I want to hear your thoughts, but PEarlo,
he's playing on the 4th line in Calgary, but yeah, who cares? He's playing on the 4th line in Calgary, but man, the guy's having a time. There's a lot to be thankful for, and there's a lot to root for in Calgary right now, for sure. Yeah,
I totally agree. Doug says, no, I never use Tony picks, but I'm just saying I went to Tony's picks and seen his record, and if you did not know him, seeing that, I would not hesitate buying a pick. All right, so I think he's giving you a comp.
You know what the thing with Tony's picks is, and PEarlo will say this too, is, and I'll say this first, is PEarlo has so much hockey knowledge, he'll go down to like the bare bones. He'll use cap friendly when it was available, and PEarlo has such hockey knowledge. But the thing is about Tony's picks, you can only choose winners, losers,
you can't do
overs,
regulation.
unders. Yeah, like PEarlo can't break down his knowledge on Tony's picks. He's limited as to what content he could put out on there.
Yeah, you can't. You can only do money line, puck line, and over under. So you can't do in regulation. You can't go team total over. You can't do all of that stuff like that. So it makes it a little more difficult for sure. No doubt about it. Yeah, that's a good
Hey,
point.
I'm going to drop in the chat the link to that cap wages. I know that we had the conversation about no longer having that. Cap wages looks identical to cap friendly.
Is it getting
I
better
can't
now?
find. It's got a buyout calculator, an offer sheet calculator, a waivers calculator, GM mode. You can do transactions. You can look at the latest trades, signings, drafts, moves, calls, recalls, players, actives, UFAs. You can ask questions.
That's the new cap friendly.
It looks just like it too, Perlo, like from the main menu and then into the when you click on a team. Like here, I'll click on the New York Rangers, like just to give you guys a little taste. Because I know, like, I want you guys to understand, like, there's when one thing goes away, if the internet has a need for it, there'll be something equal, comparable, or if not better. Because before cap wages, before cap friendly, there was Cap Geek, and that guy died. So, but like,
Cap Geek was even better than.
Yeah, but Cap Geek wasn't as good as Cap Friendly. Cap Geek, you couldn't do all this stuff with Cap Friendly, and so like you know what you have. So look, they have it laid out. Like Perlo was asking about. The link is in the chat. Just click the link. Okay, so here's Brett Bedard. I wonder if he's rated to.
That's
Brett
Berard.
I wonder if he's Brian Berard's son or related. I don't know. I wonder. So anyway, here's his minor salary right here. He makes $80,000 a year in the minors. He's playing for their minor league affiliate, which is the Hartford, or is it Hartford? Am I wrong? Who's the Rangers? They change them so often.
Yeah, that's Brian Berard's son.
Is it really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Berard, former Leaf, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Supposedly a very, very nice guy off the ice. Love hanging out with the boys. We heard of his name in a couple podcasts. That he was a great dude. Brian Berard.
And then unsigned players the player team is drafted. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I remember when he almost lost his eyesight. That was scary, man. So he was an American too, man. So like I always have an affinity for the American guys. So yeah, I mean, come on, man.
We gotta love all hockey players, man.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like the Canadians get enough support in hockey. Like your whole country watches when you guys play. That doesn't happen for Americans. If 3 million Americans watch a gold medal game, we're like, yay.
Dude, there's more people in California than there is in all of Canada. So
I understand that. But but you gotta understand, Rico, the NHL has been bad and been hard to find and kind of had problems in the last 20 years here in the States, and they've kind of made themselves not the most. They're not. I don't even know if we're in the top 4 anymore, man.
Well, they're going to be because of this frozen frenzy, man. Yesterday, you get a lot of freaking haters about that, and you're gonna get people who are just mad about the world. But I loved it, man. I absolutely loved that frozen frenzy yesterday. I think it was great. The World Series wasn't on. You got no college football, no NFL. You only got so many days to pick in a dead day in sports on a Tuesday night in October. What's there to complain about? And I've seen people complain on Twitter, and I just scroll past, and it's like, just.
That being said, Beard's right. We're not top 4. MMA is ahead of us. I think
speaking of which,
WNBA might be even ahead of us in how much people watch in the United States. We still got a long way to go, but.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just want to support the American guys and just know that they're supported. It's gotten more popular. I think we will eventually pass Canada just because of how our U.S. development team is doing so well.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, I'm not saying we're doing anything better than Canada, but ours is just doing really well. And if you look at the USHL, I think in the last 20 years, 15 years, more players have come out of the USCHL than any of the other hockey organizations.
No, you want that to happen.
It's still predominantly.
You don't want Canadian players to be most in the league.
You know what though, Perlo? I've seen more NBA players from Canada now than you've ever seen. There's more baseball players from Canada. I just think kids in Canada are doing other stuff, right?
Yeah, it's true.
And it's hockey because hockey also is of those things, unfortunately, the most expensive of all of the sports because you have to have the ice, you have to have the equipment, you have to have
that's the hard part about hockey.
Yeah.
Is it's so expensive to put your kids into the game. I mean, it's a very
if you give every American and every Canadian who had never attended a hockey game and didn't love the sport,
yeah,
I think the sport would grow. I think it would be top 2 because I don't think the NBA is enjoyed as much as I think it's because of the gambling, right? But I think hockey's a more fun sport to gamble on. I think it's actually a better sport to gamble on too because you can actually win money.
And I don't know, and to watch live, watching a live.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's nothing better than a live hockey game. I've heard guys say live NFL sucks. I can't say I've never been. I love baseball. I feel like baseball is the perfect millennial sport though because it's so slow. You can be on your phone and it's not a really.
I enjoy a baseball game, but you're going for like
3 hours,
chill out.
3.5 hours. Yeah. Well, hockey game is so fast and so incredible and so amazing. That's what I'm saying. It's unbelievable. I put on the baseball hat, the Dodgers hat, because the Dodgers are going to win the World Series.
I don't think we'll ever take out NFL in the United States ever. Not a chance. We might be
okay.
People to get up to baseball, maybe somewhere around there.
Okay. Let me just say this because I did want to talk about the Dodgers, but more specifically about a legendary Dodger who I loved, who was amazing, Fernando Valenzuela, 63 years old, passed yesterday. Tough, bro. Because he called games for the Latin for the Dodgers forever.
Yeah.
And he came up in 81 and won the World Series.
Fernando Mania, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was barely old enough to remember anything from that time frame, but my grandmother being a Dodgers fan anyway, I wanted to say rest in peace, Fernando. Like, there's a documentary about him on one of the ESPN 30 for 30s. If you guys have access to it, watch it. It's so good. And it talks about what Rico's talked about with Fernando Mania. So I just wanted to say that. I know we do a hockey podcast, but
I'm not even a huge. I mean, I haven't been a huge baseball fan I'm a baseball fan now, but not like when I was younger. But that one hit me. That thing was great.
Yeah. When the Blue Jays won 2 World Series, that didn't help you. That didn't help you out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've really got into baseball probably the last 5 years. But like there's certain personalities in any sport, even though if you're not a huge fan, and he's one of them. Like that was 63 years old.
Kind of transcends the sport, right? Like if you say Jordan, there's guys who transcend the sport. I feel like Fernando was one of those guys for sure because it was. The other thing too is like LA had never had like a Latin American star really.
Yeah.
And maybe they did it Brooklyn and I'm missing, but they didn't have it in LA, which is like 35% Hispanic back then when they moved in the 60s or whenever they moved or 56, whatever they moved. I think they won a World Series like the first year they were in LA or something. I can't remember. It was before my time, but so darts are in the mix. Andrew says he thinks darts are going to pass hockey. Bowling is the perfect all-age sport. Yep, that's a great sport too. I just think if you watch hockey, compare it to anything else, if you go to a game live, the moment they make when you could put on the glasses and you feel like you're in the game, like you're at the hockey game, like you got the best seat in the house, you're at where the Darren Pang or Ray Ferraro stands and you're watching the game from that perspective. How incredible will that be with the surround and you can put the bodysuit on and feel the checks if you want. I'm just saying, like, until they have that, which NHL get on that, by the way, what the fuck are you doing? I want to see this. I just, like, for me, if you go to a live hockey game and you don't fall in love with the sport, you don't like sport.
I totally agree. Like it's a different experience that you probably have never experienced when you go live to a hockey game. Like even if you don't even know what's going on, you go like, what the? It's an amazing spectacle for sure, no doubt about it. If you were to go to a basketball game, you'd be like, okay, whatever, unless you really enjoy it. But something about hockey is like takes it to a whole nother level. It's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Enrico,
Well, the four nation face-offs rosters have to be in by December 2nd, apparently, right?
Yeah.
So I know Marchand's already been basically named to the team, but then you got guys like Zach Hyman and stuff. So it's going to be interesting. That's going to be coming up quick. The Four Nation Cup.
Well,
the rosters have to be in by December 2nd for a February tournament.
That's what I'm saying. But those two are having bad years too. Do you want them on Team Canada?
I know these are just two names that I thought of, and I'm like, these guys are coming up, and Marchand's been named, not rostered.
100% Bennington will be the Canadian goaltender pro.
Yeah, I agree.
Who's starting goalie for the US?
I think it'll be Connor Hellebuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's won 3 Vezina. I mean, he's just good.
Isn't Audie American too? So
then you get the guys that are like
will be on the team.
Success.
Yeah. And then Jeremy Swayman will be the third goalie. No offense.
Swayman, Ottinger, and Hellebuck?
Swayman, Ottinger, and Hellebuck are going to be the you heard it here first. That's going to be the US.
I would imagine that's right. Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah. It is correct. You heard it here first.
And I finally watched that Amazon series Inside the NHL. I banged it off all the.
Oh, what'd you think?
It was awesome, man. I heard McKee on the first episode about Nylander.
He was on one of the other episodes too, because he talked about the Oilers burying the Panthers in Game 7, which did not happen.
Yeah.
And he had his rant, which I heard, and I was like, dude, you convinced me, because at that point, that's when I was like, that's literally when I gave up hope on the Panthers. Then honestly, I don't think I've been more surprised by an outcome of a Game 7, because I thought when St. Louis forced a Game 7, I was like, they're winning. I go, they're winning. They just got to withstand. And they, like, that first period, like, Bennington was just like a brick wall. Like, he had like Boston was just throwing everything at him. And I was like, and then by the time the period was over, the Blues were winning 2-0. And Boston's like, what just happened? Because they dominated I've never seen the ice tilted more. And Bennington was just like, so yeah, Bennington will probably steal the goal for Canada. I won't be shocked.
Apparently on the Frozen Frenzy, Messier pumped something up that Apple TV is going to be doing something as well too. Messier talked about that at the Frozen Frenzy last night.
I think they're doing a documentary about the 94 Rangers again, aren't they? I mean, they don't have enough of those. The Rangers need to win it. By the way, boys, we didn't talk about them before we get going here. The New York, we got to talk about tomorrow's games because we will be back tomorrow. The New York Rangers do what good teams do. They go in and beat the shit out of bad teams. And not only do they beat the shit out of them, they cleanly hit one of their better players. That Trouba hit on Barron was, I mean, clean hit. I didn't see anything wrong with the hit. Like, if anything, Barron puts himself in kind of a bad situation. He gets his head down and he kind of looks away. I don't know what he was doing. Like, just dump the puck. What are you doing? Like,
yeah, the problem is there's not too many guys that play like Trouba anymore. So a lot of people.
No, you're not wrong, PEarlo. No, I agree with you. But
he's old school. He's old school for sure.
Oh my God, Step Brothers is on TNT after the hockey game. Yes, this is the crowd we want. Stoners that are in college want to bet on you. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, man. So I was just impressed with them. I think they're the best team in the NHL right now. I think they're going to get this Shesterkin deal done. I think it'll be 11-11-5. I don't think that's a bad deal for him at all. I don't think with the cap going up, it's going to matter at all. Give him the 11.5. And my wife did the comparison. Do you know what you'd have to make in Dallas to make the equivalent of 11 million a year in New York City? 4.9 million.
He's only going to make 5.8 million.
No, hold on.
He's only going to make 5.8 million in New York if he signs for 12.
No. So, the equivalent. So the lifestyle, living cost of living, cost of housing, whatever. To make the equivalent of 11 million in New York City, you only need to make 4.9 million in Dallas. So that's insanity to me that you could make half of that because of just like the taxes and stuff.
If Audie signed for 8.25, right? Yeah, he's clearing.
Yes. Ottinger. Actually, we've messed up because we gave the deal, the Jeremy Swayman deal, the 8.25, the credit. Really, it was the Sorokin deal, which is 8.25 million. He signed 2 or so years ago. So Sorokin was the first to kind of set that trend. Now you have Swayman, yes, Ottinger, but we're forgetting Ullmark in between Swayman and Ottinger signed the exact same deal, 8 years at 8.25. And he's only played 2 games for the Ottawa Senators. That's why I was worried. But Anton Forsberg.
What I'm saying is, though, in New York, if at 12 million, you're not making much more than any one of those guys in any one of those markets. That's how expensive it is to live there. It's like freaking crazy.
And it's not a big difference to live in Canada because, like Mitch Marner, Matthews, those guys are all making American money staying in Toronto as well too. So you're getting that currency conversion. But going from a Dallas to the Rangers, that's a bigger difference. Yeah, man. No, I know people that complain about the Tony's picks. Like if PEarlo can go a little more in depth and give a little bit more picks on that platform.
Oh yeah, sure.
Probably be a little more profitable.
In regulation, if I could do +3.5, if I could do team total overs and all that. I'm just doing straight money line and puck line, pretty much, and totals. Like and we're only like 15 games into the season, and I'm green.
Yeah, that's why you got to go subscribe to your sites.
Go see how many cappers are green.
Yeah, plug your sites, PEarlo. This is a good time to plug your sites.
Yeah, it's Tony's picks. You got it's Tony's picks. You got a 1-month packages, 3-day packages, best bets, all of those sort of things like that. But whatever, go over there and see. I'm on the top of the page at Tony's picks, best NHL capper on. And these are some of the best cappers in North America, by the way. Like these are some of the best cappers in North America. Don't even worry about me. Go check out all the rest of them. They're fantastic.
But you're one of them too, PEarlo, so don't sell yourself short, buddy.
So we're some of the best cappers in North America if you like baseball, basketball, football.
Yeah, but we don't give a shit about those sports on this show. Okay. Hockey only.
Yeah.
As I talk to the Dodgers.
If you're only going money line and you're green first 15, you're doing damn good. Damn good.
PEarlo, #green15.
All right. Speaking of capping, let's talk about tomorrow's games. 9 of them on the slate. Thank God.
Okay, let's get into it.
Boston is hosting the Dallas Stars. They are a home dog at +100.
Yep.
What do you like?
All day long, Dallas Stars.
Easy.
Boston's been on the road, Colorado, going to Utah, going to Nashville. They're back home. Then they got the Leafs. It's a bit of look-ahead spot to a Saturday night hockey night in Canada game against the Leafs. I love the Stars going into Boston on this one.
I totally agree. I'll take them on the puck line -1.5. They're going to ruin the Boston Bruins tomorrow.
Okay. We head to Toronto. the Blues come in. They just lost Robert Thomas. Ironically, the Blues are a plus 190 road dog. They must have not seen the Leafs play the Blue Jackets the game before. They have identical records. They're both 4-3. Rico, I'll start with you. You're the Toronto guy. What do you like?
Yeah, this is another play for the coach, play for Berube. This is a game that Berube wants to beat his old team, the Candom. After winning the Stanley Cup, you got to go Toronto all day long here. If they can't get up for this game for the St. Louis Blues previous coach, they can't get up for any game. So Toronto's going to take care of St. Louis. Robert Thomas out, team bad morale, just shock. Yeah, no, Toronto or nothing here.
Leafs puck line. I'm totally with Rico here for sure.
Okay, I'm going to be a contrarian. Bennington steals this game, has like 40 saves. It's like a 3-1 game for the Blues.
Could be under. I could see the under. Yeah,
I just think Bennington's going to play this one. He's from there, and he wants to shove it up Ruby's ass too. I think there's some guys, Iru, some guys that want to stick it up Ruby's ass more than the Leafs want to defend him. And I like the Blues here at plus money 190. Just I'm taking the Blues, and I might do some props or stuff. I'll tweet that out tomorrow after I get my snowblower ready for the winter, which I've been needing to do for like 3 days, and winterize the rest of my outside of my house. So let's go to Devils Red Wings. I'll start with you, Perlo. You love the Red Wings this year. You've been a huge proponent of them.
Yeah,
I say sarcastically. They are a home dog at plus 136. I think that's rightfully so. Who do you like here, Devils Red Wings?
Yeah, the problem is the Devils. I don't know where they're at right now, to tell you the honest truth. That's the thing with this game. They should beat the Red Wings, but they should have did lots of things this year, and they're not really I don't really trust them. Who's going to be in net for the Devils here? It'll probably
Markstrom, because the game they got Sheldon, Jake Allen was in net, and he had to stay in.
I'll take money line Devils at minus 150 or something like that. We didn't talk about it. You guys were on the show,
but Mike and I did plenty of it. The Tampa Bay Lightning put a snowman up on the New Jersey Devils yesterday.
Yeah, no defense.
Yes.
No defense. And that was their problem last year, and it doesn't look like it's changed, even though they have Hamilton in and a lot of other defensive. I'm probably not going to bet this game, but if I had to take a side, I would probably take the Devils money line and maybe the over, something like that.
Yeah, I definitely like the over. I don't have the over-unders, guys, so if you have them, let me know, but I don't have them. I guess I could look on. Hold on, I could look on.
Probably going to be 6.5, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think BR has them. BR uses FanDuel or DraftKings, I think. So hold on. NHL tomorrow. Yeah, over-under in the Red Wings Devils is 6.5, so that makes total. Yeah, and yeah, DraftKings has the same line. It's DraftKings on here too. Why don't they give the over-under on NHL.com? That's idiotic. Okay, this is the good game. The New York Rangers host the defending Stanley Cup champions, who just got Makachuk back, but they're still missing Barkov. We haven't even talked about that, but Barkov's been out for a while since like the first game. Rangers are the favorite at minus 155. The over-under is 5.5. They like this to be low scoring. Well, I don't know, man. The Rangers went in and stomped Montreal. I think the Rangers are out to prove something. I like the Rangers in this one to win big. I like the over of 5.5. Take the over now while it's 5.5 for certain. I think the Rangers lead the NHL in goals. Rico, what do you think?
Yeah, the last game you didn't give me an opportunity to pick the winner.
Oh, I didn't give you Devils and Red Wings.
Yeah, then that's okay. I mean, the Devils got the Islanders basically the next night, so this is a little bit of a sandwich game for New Jersey. So Detroit's won 2 games in a row. Granted, the last game was a 1-0 barn burner against the Islanders, so I think I'll take Detroit at home just because of the plus money you'll get. Don't bet the house on it, but this Ranger game's a little tricky one too. They've been at Detroit, Toronto, Montreal. Now they're coming back home against Florida. Then they got a game Saturday night at home against the Ducks. So it's could be a sneaky Florida. Kachuk's back in the lineup, but he didn't do a whole lot. Maybe just because of conditioning.
Yeah, they look bad against the Wild. They look bad.
They look bad. They did look bad. That did not look like a Florida team.
But I think that's because the Wild are a good team, and just that's the plain and simple.
They're good. Another good team. Good top six. Loading up the top six and getting good goaltending. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I hate to bet against the Rangers at home. It should be a Rangers win, but I don't know. I might take a sneaky Panthers road win. Try to just play a little bit of rough and tough, and I don't mind taking the Panthers there on the road. Just Rangers have been through Montreal too. You never know. It could have been a rookie party midweek in Montreal. Town's a little quiet, coming off a 7-2 win. If there's a time to have a good time, it's early October in Montreal, so their legs could be a little dead against the Ducks because then they go against a divisional opponent. And
what are you saying, Rico? What are you saying about
next week?
What are you saying about the boys out on the town on Montreal?
Dude, I've been to Montreal on St. Catherine Street, man. My buddy got his belt tied around the freaking bar ahead, and he had no clothes on, and we went there for a bachelor party. So I know how Montreal can get. If you're New York Rangers coming off a big win against them. Yeah,
did you come home with a girlfriend from that trip?
No, I still had a girlfriend. Buddy's bachelor party we went to, a couple of his friends. They met. They spoke French by the end of the weekend. Put it that way. No, the Rangers have Maple Leafs. The Rangers have Maple Leafs legs coming home tomorrow night against the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, okay. I agree. I totally agree. I'm taking Florida here.
After that game against the Minnesota Wild, there's no way Florida's going to lay another egg like that. They're going to the Rangers, and the Rangers aren't going to want any of it.
Real quick on this game, question on this. Do you guys like the over 5.5? I like the over.
Need to the over.
I'm not done asking the question. Just give me 1 second. The Panthers are at plus 130. Is that a big reason why both of you are taking them? Cup champions on the road, plus money?
Not really. Spot.
You got two good goalies there too, man. I don't know who's going to get the starts and who's starting there, but I don't know if I'd fly over the number there. This might be one of those Florida 3-1, 3-2 road wins.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I actually like more than anything in this game? Draw first period. Either
I mean, they got a low over-under.
Plus 170 again on that. I see.
I just think
scoring.
It's not going to be Spencer Knight. It's going to 1,000,000% be Bob and Shesty, two Russian goalies head to head, no question.
No, it's going to be.
I just like how the Rangers, dude. They went in and took care of business. Montreal is not a good team. They're going to be a lottery team more than likely. Yeah. But they are the youngest team in the NHL. So, or the second youngest behind Buffalo. I just don't I feel like the Rangers did what they needed to do. That wasn't a big energy expense game for them, and they're going to be riding a high, coming back to MSG that sells the F out, even though regular season seats cost $3,000 in the lower level there. They're going to be on it, and it's they know basketball is coming around. This is a good team. The Yankees are in the World Series, as my friend Derek. New York wants winners. The Rangers are 5-0-1. They've never started a season this good ever. So I just don't expect them to lose this game. Let's go to Hurricanes Flames. Oh, hold on. Did I miss one? Yeah, I missed another 7. Let's go to Wild in Tampa. Wild plus 124. I like the Wild in this game, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Rico, what do you think? You're muted. You're muted, Rico.
Yeah. No, I mean, Tampa's coming home against that barn burner against New Jersey, and Minnesota's coming off that big win against Florida. So, I mean, Minnesota's 4-0-2, no regulation losses. they might want to keep that streak going, keep playing hard, try to keep the win streak alive. Visiting the Lightning could be a little tricky. I mean,
Well, and a little birdie told me, and I talked to a friend in Tampa today, they have had a lot of problems there. Tampa got hit hard by the hurricane. And I think I think the players on the road, they can kind of relax and play well, like what they did against. I mean, they didn't look good against Toronto. Let's be honest. Toronto looked great. Again, surprising. But the Blue Jackets looked like world beaters against New Jersey. And I think the final score of that was like 8-5. So it was actually kind of a close game at the end there. But I think at one point they led 6-2 or something. So it was like Tampa all day.
Yeah.
But now they're back home again. The flooded Lamborghinis, the lighting.
Yeah. Marc-Andre Fleury's gonna make his probably second start of the year. I'll take
Oh no, wait, is Fleury gonna be in that?
Once.
Oh shit. No.
I don't know. I don't have the starters.
Depends on who's going to be in net. I'm not taking that.
But Vasilevsky hasn't looked that good this year either, guys.
Yeah,
so okay, let's jump over to Hurricanes Flames. Let's jump over to Hurricanes Flames real quick.
That's going to be
I mean, Hurricanes come back to beat Edmonton in Edmonton. Flames are undefeated, 5-0-1. Over under is 6. The Flames are a home dog, plus 136. I think we counted out Carolina's talent, and then my main man chimed in, the Carolina fan chimed into and he said Gostisbehere has 4 goals for them. He's been a good ad. Yeah. Like, we kind of killed them for getting rid of Shea and Pesce and all that. Well, look, Pesce hasn't skated a minute for New Jersey, so he's done nothing. And we know what I have not noticed Shea in the games I've watched from Nashville so far. So, I mean, that again, a lot of talent to inject into that Nashville team. I'm not ready to bury them by any stretch of the imagination. So, well, let's move on since Rico, I don't know what he's got going on, but you like Flames in this game, PEarlo, or Hurricanes?
I like the under. Is what I like.
Okay, you like the under. Okay.
I would leave Carolina to a certain degree.
Yeah.
They're gonna play them tough. I don't think Calgary's played against a team yet this year that plays like Carolina. Like, they're gonna really have to grind it out. So I think both teams grind it out, and I like the under and I like the draw. That would be my play there.
I agree.
Is Rico here?
No. We're just going to move on to the next game. Avalanche at Utah Hockey Club. Because we've been on like an hour.
Avalanche will win that one. By considerably. Probably, I see like 3-4 nothing.
I think Avs get back to 500 here, PEarlo. Just the injuries on the back end of Utah is too much for them to overcome.
That's the problem. It's the injuries in that back end.
I think could be a close game just because Colorado hasn't played well defensively, but it's probably Georgiev in. Annunen played. So Annunen played. All right. Annunen played.
What's the over? Can we get a 6.5?
6.5.
Okay.
Yeah. Eustace Annunen played in. Okay. Are you done?
Yep.
Eustace Annunen played the other night in Seattle. So not Georgiev, who has not looked good this year at all. So again, I don't know. I don't trust Colorado's goaltending, but I mean, I like Colorado. They got Taves back here. And with just the injuries, I just don't think they have had enough. Now, look, they brought up that Maverick Lamoureux kid from Tucson. So that's going to be interesting. Maybe he comes in and shines. The Wally Pipp thing, man, like they're not missing. I mean, like they're not missing I like Sean Durzi. Okay. Good offensive defenseman. Nice little pairing up there with him and Sergachev. This Lamoureux, Maverick Lamoureux kid, I hope he comes in and kills it.
I hope so.
It would be cool. You might remember his parents like tonguing each other from the draft. So if you've seen that picture floating around, that's his parents. Yeah. Rico's like, yeah, I remember.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So who do you like here, Rico? Avalanche or Utah Hockey Club?
Saturday. Okay, so Utah goes to LA Saturday afternoon at 4:00. So you got an early turnaround there. So they better take care of business at the Avalanche because I don't mind taking the Kings on an early start at home.
Well, Utah's at home. At home.
Yeah. So this game's at home against the Avalanche, but then Utah goes to LA at a 4:00 Eastern. So 1:00 their time start in LA. So. And Utah wants to play good at home. I think I'll take Utah more often than not at home, I think. So I don't mind.
Well, they're plus money here. I don't have anything against plus money with the way Colorado's goaltending has been played. And I wouldn't be shocked if Utah won. But.
And again, Utah has young guys on their team, so they'll be able to get that last change. They'll be able to play those matchups against those top guns. And Utah's got a little bit of depth there. So at plus money, I don't mind taking Utah at home. New team, new home, new crowd, new image.
Well, like I said too, I imagine Georgiev is going to start, and he has not been good. And you're going up against the team that's second in goals in the NHL right now in the Utah Hockey Club. So I don't have a problem with Utah. I didn't pick this game. PEarlo gave his. Let's. Did you have? I'll give you real quick to go. Hurricanes, Flames. You didn't get to say your piece. Who do you like in that game?
I'll go with the Hurricanes there. A pretty easy pick. Okay. I mean, Calgary's. I mean, they're overachieving right now. I mean, they're playing well at home, playing hard at home.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is a good test.
It's a good test. It's a very, very good test. I mean, we saw it the other night with Carolina and Edmonton. That was a great game last night. Carolina at the Oilers. Yeah. So.
Was a good one.
Like the under? You like the under?
Yeah, you know what, PEarlo, I don't mind the under there. Yeah. What do you get in a 5, 5.5?
That's what a 6. It's a 6.
6.
It's a 6.
I don't see that going over. I don't see it.
I like the under.
Yeah, I could see like a 4-1 Carolina win, kind of just business game for them. Just bank
3-2
points and
3-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I like that one too. Okay, Jets Kraken. Jets are at Seattle. Seattle is a home dog plus 110. I kind of agree with that and would take the Jets. Rico.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle's on a bit of a long homestand here. They're coming off that 3-2 loss against the Jazz.
Yeah, they played good in that game. They just did not get the scoring they needed, but they played good in that game. And then Colorado got a big boost with Taves back in the lineup, but I did not hate what I saw from the 15 or 20 minutes of that game that I caught like kind of over the course of the night. And which is because it wasn't friendly. I was trying to watch 3 games, and as the games ended, and then I had the Frozen Frenzy up. So,
Winnipeg's looking ahead to Hockey Night in Canada at Calgary, so they'll be playing the doubleheader.
Well, wouldn't it be good if they're both undefeated though?
Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah, give me the Jets because I want the Jets and the Flames to win, then battle 2 unbeaten teams. Second game of Hockey Night in Canada, that'd be wicked.
Yeah, for sure. PEarlo, what do you got there, Jets Kraken?
Yeah, I can't go against the Jets right now. I mean, the Kraken they've been finding ways to win as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see a draw here, and I would lean to the under. If DeCord is in net, if Grubauer is in net, I'm all over the Jets in regular.
Yeah, and the over, which by the way is for that line is 5.5, so it's kind of low. I kind of like the over anyway. Seattle's actually not had a problem scoring. They didn't do it against Colorado yesterday, and they almost came back in that game anyway.
It depends. If Grubauer's in net, I'm on the Jets.
Yeah, he's not been good. DeCord's definitely been the better of the two. You reminded me of a Reddit. I joined a Reddit thing today. It was hockey jerseys, and somebody tweeted out a nice Seattle Kraken Winter Classic one, and then it was Grubauer, and one of the comments was like, "Oh, Grubauer, that's rough." like Like, it's a cool jersey, but, that you got to rep Grubauer. I was laughing. It's like, guys won 2 Stanley Cups, I think. On the Caps team, of course, he wasn't the goalie for most of the playoffs, but he played the first 2 games of the season or the playoffs that year. So, and then was he not with Colorado? Did he win with Colorado, or did he leave Colorado before he could win? And Kemper was the guy. So
Grubauer didn't win with Colorado.
Yeah, but he has his name on the cup, so it's like whatever. Yeah, so Sharks and Kings is the last. This I would be looking forward to this. We talked about this last night a lot. Mike and I did. You guys were not on. I almost wish Celebrini would have played in college this year. Yeah. It's just such a bummer he's injured, and I was looking forward to watching these late Sharks games, which we get on the West Coast. Pearl, you were in the Mountain Time, which you were about to be in East Coast time. I was looking forward to these matchups, Sharks and Kings, to see, because the Kings are a pretty young team too, man. Like, outside of Kopitar and Doughty, who's out, not even playing for them. Kings actually don't have a terrible record, 3-2-2. I expect them to walk the winless Sharks, man. And it just sucks that we didn't get any of Celebrini at all. We got him the first game, and that's it. Like, sure would be nice to have seen him the other 7 games they've already played, So that's a bummer. I don't know where you guys. I mean, you guys are not. I wouldn't even touch this game. The Sharks are plus 260. I don't think there's any benefit to betting on the Kings at minus 325. You might like the over or under at 6. The Sharks have played fairly well defensively. They haven't looked off. I still think they've tied for lead in most goals allowed. They lost the Ducks 3-1 last night, so it wasn't a drubbing. But the Kings got beat out of the building 6-1 on Tuesday. Last game of the night. Not many people saw it because it was 11 Eastern start time. But good God, if you're taking the Kings.
Yeah. LA was in a whole world of Hurdle last night. Thomas Hurdle had 3 points on Vegas's first 3 goals. He had a goal and 2 assists, and LA just freaking finished jumping on the
edge. Out. Yeah, and they got beat 6-1. They look like it. So I expect them to be really good at home. This is their first home game of the season. I think they dolled up the Sharks. There's no way I would even touch this game.
Yeah.
Is that where you guys are?
Yeah, I mean, San Jose scored 2 goals, I think, in their last 2 games. I mean, LA's first game at home, you never know. Taylor Swift could have been practicing there.
Plus 260, you could throw $10 on it, right, Rico? Like, if you just wanted to waste $10, and if the Sharks won.
I would throw Perlo's piano on San Jose in regulation tomorrow.
Yeah. Perlo, you're moving anyway, so sell that grand piano in the back.
Seriously, it would take San Jose in regulation.
And you know what? Either way, you get rid of the piano, so you don't have to worry about hauling it off.
True.
So,
True. Good point. You gotta.
All right, guys.
You got to come pick it up, though. I'm going to take San Jose minus 1.5 team total.
We'll do our final thought segment tomorrow.
They get 1 goal against LA tomorrow, tops.
Okay.
Yeah. They have nobody going to score. Who's going to score?
Granlund, Zetterlund, Eklund.
Well, Eklund's been good for them, man. I think he leads them in goals.
Yeah. Well, that's not a good thing.
Granlund has 6 assists.
The good news is
Tyler Toffoli has 4 goals, leads the team. So Toffoli, they're big free agents.
Okay, yeah. So Toffoli for
Okay, boys. We'll do our final thoughts segment, the last show of the week tomorrow, Thursday. That'll be the last show of the week. No, it will not be the last show of the week. We'll be doing a show Friday. Sorry. We'll have a show Friday. Yeah. So
as you reminded me of when I asked you when we were going to do a show on Monday.
Yeah, I put it in the comments. You reminded me I needed to put it in the community notes. So when people come to the site, they can look and see that I've said, hey guys, this is when we're going to do the show. And then we'll go back to Monday through Thursday after football, Monday Night Football. I think there's a Monday playoff game this year, so not the first week of the NFL playoffs, but then we'll be back to a Monday through Thursday schedule, which is just good for everybody because who doesn't like to go out with their lady or something on a Friday night? We don't want to be in here all the time. I think 4 days a week is nice. I will, however, still on Fridays do the college hockey show with Mike at 2 p.m. Eastern. So
my girlfriend is free on Friday night. So
you're what?
My girlfriend.
What about your girlfriend?
The one that owns the house here that I'm talking to.
Yeah. What do you got to do on Friday night? You're out with your girlfriend? Is that what you said?
She's usually free on Friday night, so it'd be nice when.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so Rico, have a good one. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We got Leafs talkie to talk about tomorrow. We got no Oilers to talk about, but we definitely have the Panthers-Rangers game. I'm going to be tuning into that one. That's going to be awesome.
That's going to be one hell of a game right there.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's going to be a supremacy of the Eastern Conference going at each other, and Florida is just going to go for
and a
blood.
rematch. And a rematch of the conference finals, if I'm not wrong, right? So
it's going to be a great night of hockey. Watch that game close. It's going to be a table setter for the rest of the year. You're getting that game in mid-October, earlier in the season. So that's going to be one of those table setters. And you just watch those confrontations between some players. You're going to see Sam Bennett, Trouba probably make a presence. You got Bobrovsky and Shesterkin, two of the better goalies in the Eastern Conference. They're going to want to. It's going to be a great game. But yeah, Capitals, 5 straight wins. Go Caps. They're going to the Cup against the Calgary Flames.
Before the end of this month, on the 29th of October, the first official game of the Divorce Cup, Rangers Caps.
No, there we go.
There'd be some barking dogs in the house.
Washington's been making me a ton of money this year, man. I've been freaking Washington the whole time.
The dogs would be barking that night.
Yeah.
Oh, one more roster move before we close. The Tampa Bay Lightning put Connor Sheary on waivers, 2-time Stanley Cup champion.
Wow.
Yeah.
So might have played his last game in the NHL unless otherwise. So anyway, man, I'm a big Connor Sheary fan. Shout out Connor. Great player. Loved him when he was with the Caps. Smart hockey player. Undersized guy. Defied the odds. He's a college guy too, I believe. So, hey, everybody. Have a great night. We appreciate everybody that rode with us. We had about 10 people ride with us the whole night, man. So appreciate you guys on X and YouTube. That's where we're getting our stuff. But we were also live on Instagram and Twitch. We appreciate you guys. Have a good one. See you tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern.